Hello and welcome to the Overdrive show. I'm Jamshed. Now we've had a couple of really busy weeks, months actually. We've had the jury round and the awards, then we had the Auto Expo. Last week we had the 300 special. Well, now order has been restored, normalcy has resumed, and here's our first story with Berth headed south to test Hyundai's new Santa Fe.
Hyundai Motor India is one of India's largest volumes player, but that does not stop it from existing in segments, in small niche segments where the volumes are low but profitability is high. Now Hyundai Motor has an extensive portfolio of cars that it offers to its consumers globally, and it tries its best to offer some of those cars and SUVs to the Indian consumer as well. Case in point, the Hyundai Sonata and the Santa Fe. Now what I have with me is the 2014 Santa Fe, which was recently launched at the Auto Expo in Greater Noida at a starting price of 26 lakh rupees ex showroom Delhi. Now the Santa Fe takes on the Toyota Fortuner, which in itself is exists in a very small niche, but it's the dominant player there. Now Hyundai intends to take away some of that market share from Toyota and probably introduce a few more new consumers to that segment as well. And to do this, they've got the Santa Fe, which as you can see is much better styled, a much bigger improvement on its predecessor. It seats 7 and it's got 4x4, which allows me to come out here into the wild and play. And wanting to be an exciting offering to the Indian consumer is a huge priority on the Santa Fe's agenda. That proposition is where the new design of the Santa Fe starts off. This racy, very attention-grabbing look is an extension of Hyundai's fluidic design language called the Storm's Edge. And in many ways, the Santa Fe does look like it's on the edge, perched delicately between being stylish and cocky. Nonetheless, this new design is something a lot of people are going to sit up and take notice of, because yes, I must admit it does look good. It definitely stands out in a crowd. It's imposing, it's handsome, it's dynamic, and it has a very arrogant yet confident stance that warrants a second look. The cabin is also a very pleasing place to be in. The dashboard is smartly laid out to blend ergonomic functionality with high fashion appearance. What I did like the most is the uniqueness to the segment. I haven't seen anything like the Santa Fe, and that brings a freshness that is very appealing. So while there is a faint family DNA apparent, its still very unique interior is quite unlike what the Germans or even the Japanese have to offer. And it's also rich in features, space, and is a well-packaged interior that can comfortably seat 7. Well, the new Santa Fe has several features that will delight you if you're a consumer and if you're looking to buy the Santa Fe. The one feature that has impressed me considerably is the steering assist function. Now in this, there's a small button on the steering wheel with the steering wheel logo or symbol on it, and it allows you to slip into one of 3 modes. That's comfort, normal and sport mode. Now in each of these modes, the weight and precision of the steering wheel changes. So in comfort, as you'd have guessed, it becomes a lot lighter, much more convenient and free and easy to use in crowded urban areas, easy to park as well. The normal, adds a little more weight to the steering wheel and a little more precision as well. And this can be used either in city conditions or if you're driving out on urban highways. The sports mode, there's a lot of weight on the steering wheel, and you can immediately make the difference out between the comfort and the sport mode. And this is ideal if you're driving this car, this SUV rather, a little dynamically, a little fast on open highways or on windy roads. The Santa Fe will come with just one engine. That's the 2.2 litre R series, next generation R series engine. Now this diesel is turbocharged with a variable geometry turbocharger, which is electronically controlled, and it's got common rail direct injection. So you get about 197 PS of max power. It's also a fairly torquey engine, very linear power delivery. Now this engine is mated to a choice of 2 transmissions. You get either a 6-speed manual transmission or a 6-speed automatic transmission. And in my opinion, the automatic is the one that you should choose, because the manual, while it will give you better efficiency, the convenience of using an SUV as large as this will only be best derived from the automatic transmission. The Santa Fe uses a McPherson setup at the front with a multi-link at the rear, and this suspension setup has been stiffened compared to the previous generation Santa Fe. So effectively what you get is a better, more secure, a bit more positive feeling SUV. So in the corners, the Santa Fe feels a lot more secure, it feels a lot more precise, it feels just that little bit more dynamic than it used to. Body roll is extremely well controlled and measured. So yes, while there is some body roll, it never feels like it's going to lose composure at any given point in time. I quite like the way the Santa Fe drives. It does not have the German tautness or harshness to be blunt. Neither does it feel wishy-washy or disconnected. And while I do think there is some merit to tightening up the handling character of the Santa Fe for everyday purposes and to stay glued to the road and thus safe in every condition, the ride and handling is properly sorted out. The Santa Fe has got an adaptive four-wheel drive system, and essentially basically what this does is in urban conditions or out on the highways, to maximize fuel efficiency, it will stick itself in two-wheel drive mode. When the vehicle senses all four wheels need traction, then and only then it will deliver torque to all four wheels. So while it's not a 4x4 like, or rather compared to the Toyota Fortuner, which has a low ratio transmission case, the Santa Fe will still get you out of those small sticky situations comfortably. There are three variants of the Santa Fe being offered in showrooms. One has a manual transmission and the other two are automatics, but all are mated to the same diesel engine. Hyundai has no plan of introducing a petrol variant yet. Of the three, the top of the line variant is the only one to get 4x4, while the other two are simply two-wheel drive SUVs. But if you are looking for better, more secure handling and the ability to get you out of a spot of bother on a rainy day, the 4x4 is what we would advise you to go in for. The 2014 Santa Fe is a remarkable improvement over its predecessor, and the previous generation Santa Fe wasn't a bad SUV at all. So it's obvious to say that this new Santa Fe, well, it's a brilliant SUV. Now, which brings us down to the price, starting at about 26 lakh rupees, going all the way up to about 32 lakh rupees and even 35 lakh rupees on road. It might seem a bit expensive for something like the Santa Fe. And at that price point, you could get yourself a branded SUV from the German automakers. But let's look at it like this. What you don't get with the branded SUVs is the capacity to seat 7 passengers, this fantastic styling which has incredible road presence. You don't get the fantastic ride quality, and you don't get Hyundai's reliable and trustworthy network and ownership experience. So forget about the branded SUVs, forget about the Japanese side of things. The Santa Fe by itself makes a lot of sense to me.